Hi,
Hi, hi Jake.
nice hat.
Thank you so much. Good to see
Where'd you
you.
get it?
One time I went to San Francisco and I see a guy selling this on the street. He looks really like he needed some help, so I bought it and I like the hat too. Yeah,
Oh,
but I wear it because I have a bad hair today, I think. Yeah, so yeah, this is easier
okay. Nice. All right. I guess we'll start with a little self-introduction.
for sure.
So, who are you?
My name is Dylan Liu and I'm from China. And now I'm building in AI
Okay,
using
you're
a
from
Cloud Code.
China. You came from China, but you're living in the US now.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. In the Bay Area to be. Yeah.
Okay. And you said you were building an AI.
Yes, exactly.
AI. You're building an AI or are you building AI with, oh, you're building a product with AI.
Yes. But the product is also AI related,
Okay.
so it's like an
And
AI
that's
native app.
today's focus.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll also do a self-introduction. Call me Drake, and I was from the tech industry, working in software engineer for a bit, and now I'm more of an educator now,
Yeah.
but I'm still very interested in technology and AI. So
Awesome.
we're making this progress, making this podcast to just have engaging conversations about AI, technology, and the future.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
And hopefully we'll have some fun here. Hopefully people will learn some stuff here.
absolutely.
Okay. All right. So today's focus is you, Mr. Dylan. So you said you were building a product with AI, and the
Yes.
product itself is also about AI.
The product is about, I'd say, people, but the product also uses AI to achieve its functionality, right? So yeah, we call them AI native apps, right? Yeah. So in this particular case, I'm building an AI digital twin, which means basically you can just talk to the AI and the algorithm will extract your personalities, basically your cognitive status, and also your knowledge and how you approach things, what language you use, and what words you say. So it can have a pretty good picture of who you are and or what you are, right? So I built this with Cloud Code alone for 3 weeks. So that's how long it took me to finish a prototype of the project. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, let's take a step back, right? You said
Yeah.
you said this product is about making a digital clone, and it's
Yeah.
supposed to so it's supposed to get some information about yourself, right? And it
Yes.
can sort of extrapolate your personality and then maybe chat with other people in the same way that you do.
Yes, it can do that. So I'm still thinking about how to make this useful in our daily life. But basically, so what it can do now is through several maybe sessions of conversation with the AI,
Mm-hmm.
and the AI gets to know you more and more. So it accumulates a cognitive profile of you and it keeps growing. So as each session goes, right? So basically, as time goes by, it gets to know you better and better. And at some point, you can crystallize a psyche, which means to extract some most persistent and prominent signals from the profile. And then you inject it back into the AI, just any LLM, be it Cloud, be it ChatGPT, be it DeepSeek, right? So it doesn't matter which one you use. But what you can do is you can turn the generic LLM into your digital twin,
Mm-hmm.
which thinks like you and talks like you and knows all about you, right? So you can basically use this twin to represent yourself. If you don't have time for some daily task, you can use it to make decisions for you or talk to other people. Yeah.
Okay. So when you were talking about your project, I heard you mention a few terms that might not be familiar to people who were not in the AI field, right?
Of
So first
course.
term I heard is Claude code. Can you
Yeah,
talk what can you tell me of what that is?
Cloud Code is a product by Anthropic, and they are really avant-garde in this aspect.
And
In terms
Anthropic is an AI company.
Yeah, AI company, a
Mhm.
big one, right? So they are basically a competitor with OpenAI and with Google as well. But now
Mhm.
I think Anthropic is actually leading the race because most programmers they use to code because they think it has better like logical.
Okay, so this is
Yeah,
Claude, not Cloud, right? Like not CLOUD, but like
yeah,
CLAUD, right?
it's CLAUDE, but I've
Right.
heard people call it Cloud or Claude.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
heard both ones, so I don't
Okay.
really know what to call it.
Okay.
What do you
And
call it?
what is it mainly used for?
So basically, vibe coding, which means you talk to the AI in natural language. You don't have
Mhm.
to have a grasp on any of those programming languages, right?
Mhm.
So you just talk to the AI how you talk to other people, and then the AI can get your meaning and then just stretch out. I mean, AI can draw out some kind of a
So
blueprint
help
for you
you,
to decide on
right?
the
So
structure of
help
your.
you as a sort of like a coding partner or like a business partner,
Exactly. And
right?
then at some important point, AI will stop and ask you for instruction, your like very important product decisions. So you make those decisions yourself, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then after that, AI will just proceed to write all the codes for you. So basically what you do is give it an idea and have some back and forth and talk about the product a little bit with the AI, and then the AI will do the rest of the job for you.
Right.
So
So you're basically
yeah,
saying Claude Code is a programming tool, but a programming language in the old eras, right? Like the programmer has to learn about programming. They are the programmers, right?
yep.
But now you don't have to learn that. You could just talk to the AI and the AI will code it for you.
Exactly. You don't
As
have to
long
learn
as you
any.
make sure you frame everything very specifically, correctly, so that the AI can know exactly what you want to create, and
Yeah,
the AI will do the hard work for you.
exactly. That's
Okay.
what happens with vibe coders right now. All over the
Right.
world, there are tons of thousands of vibe coders doing the same thing, right?
Mhm. And you also mentioned this term LLM,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's short for large language model. Am I
Of
right?
course. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that?
I think the first LLM is not actually a chat GPT, right? I think
Okay.
there's another one called Llama. I might be wrong, but I think Llama was the first one, but chat GPT was the one that really took off, right?
Really?
First one to take off and
Explode
yeah, and
back in
exploded
2003.
2000, maybe 2020,
True.
23, 2023.
2023, sorry.
Yeah,
23.
2023. And then there are other newcomers coming into this game. Some of them being really a good Google Gemini, which is one of the
Hmm.
good ones, and also Claude, like you said, by Anthropic. And
Hmm.
there are other ones too. In China, they also have DeepSeek and Q1, right, by Alibaba. So those are all real good LLMs. So basically, they do the same thing, but some of them are better at something while others are better at others, right? So if you're doing coding, I think Claude is probably the best option for now.
Right.
Yeah,
So for people who are not familiar with the terminology, LL in layman's term, you can kind of think about it as like as sort of like a brain, right? And you're
yeah,
talking to this. So whenever you're having a conversation on ChatGPT, you're talking to OpenAI, which
yeah.
is the
Yes, exactly.
ChatGPT LLM, right?
Yes,
If you're on Gemini, you're talking to Google's LLM,
yes, exactly.
right? So
Yeah.
this is the brain that they kind of built, right?
Yes, I'd like to think of it as not exactly a brain, but
Hmm.
a set of collective human consciousness, because they are trained on real data from
Sure.
books, historical data,
Hmm.
materials accumulated, right? So it basically contains everything we ever know as human beings, right?
Right.
So it's more like a collective thing. The
Everything that
deep,
we ever know and all the mistakes that we ever made.
yes,
All the
exactly.
misinformation that's all the misinformation too.
Yes, yes, that's another aspect of it,
Yeah.
right? Because it also contains a lot of human errors as well. So it's not perfect for
Right.
sure.
I
Yeah.
think I think that's a good topic to talk about in another day. So
Mm-hmm.
today's focus is on your project, right?
Uh-huh.
And you said your project is about the ability to create a digital twin of
Yes.
yourself, and
Yes.
the way that if I was a customer, right?
Uh-huh.
If I was a user,
Mm-hmm.
I would chat with your AI for a little bit,
Yes.
and
Yes.
your AI probably ask me some questions, and based on the way I answer those questions,
Yes.
it can extract some information about me.
Yes,
And
exactly.
then
So yeah, please go on. Yeah.
is that am I right so far?
No, no. It's totally true. And basically, you can think of it as a thinking companion or
Mm,
interviewer interviewing you, right? So you can just say anything to it, what you're thinking nowadays, the notion of the crosses your mind, something that happened little while ago. So basically, anything you feed it will be turned into the signal about you, how you approach something, right? How you go about in this world, how you talk about something. So everything will become a signal, right? Yeah.
mm,
So that's basically the idea. Yeah. So yeah, I think the user can just treat it as a friend you talk with every day. You just say anything on your mind, right?
yeah.
And then with time, it will build your profile gradually. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting idea. So let me ask you this. How did you think of this idea?
I have always been intrigued by this question. What is consciousness? Right?
Hmm.
So I have watched a lot of sci-fi works,
Oh, I love
movies.
sci-fi too.
Yes, especially by the writer named Philip K. Dick. So he's also from San Francisco,
Hmm.
and a lot of his works have been adapted to movies and TV series, Blade Runner, right?
Oh, Blade Runner.
Yeah, and the Minority Report, and a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
others. Yeah,
Love
in
those
his
movies.
works, he asked this question a lot, right? So yeah, so it was kind of out of curiosity that I started this project because we always think of human consciousness as a
Let me interrupt you for just a little bit.
yeah, please.
So you mentioned two very interesting science fiction works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blade Runner and Minority Report, right? I watched
Yes.
both.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell our audience why did you mention these two works specifically? What in these two movies or science fiction novels that gave you this idea, gave you this, inspired you to ask the question, what is conscious?
Yes,
What is
because
conscious?
like I think Minority Report is about probability. It's about another subject. I was just introducing PKD, so I mentioned it. But the other one, which is Blade Runner, so the original novel, I believe it's titled "Do Android Dream of Electric Ship," right? So it was about this dystopian world where high tech, low life is real, but they can make this type of human like robot. They call them replicas, right?
Replicants. Yeah,
Replicas,
replicants.
yes, and they can basically think and talk like people, and they were injected with fake memories, basically. So they even think they are people, right?
Right.
And now they can feel, they can get hurt, they can feel happy, just like human being, right? So here's the question: what makes us different from them, right? What makes a real consciousness different from the artificial ones, right? So that's one question that intrigued me. So I wanted to do this project to find out for myself with the technology we have now, how much can we achieve, right? So that was a starting point for me.
Okay, cool. And
And
Minority Report, from my memory, was about pre-crime, right? Like you're
Mhm.
predicting if someone's
Yes,
going to commit a crime,
yes, exactly.
then
Yeah.
you would. So it's the police department, right?
Yes.
Has some sort of supercomputer of some sort.
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot. And then they were trying to predict that someone's gonna commit a crime, like commit a murder.
Yeah. I believe, yeah.
And then the main character, Tom Cruise, would fly there before the crime happens and then make an arrest.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So there you have the dilemma, right? If
Mm-hmm.
someone is about to commit a crime, does that make it, because they haven't committed the crime yet,
Yeah, no,
right?
yeah.
So is it a crime to be about to commit the crime, right?
Yeah,
So
so
that's the
basically it's a
question.
question of whether you're guilty of the crime you are about to commit, right? So
Right, right.
yeah. So that's, I think it's
It's a good
broad,
way to
like
frame it.
topic. It's something about that. So it doesn't have a lot to do with Minority Report, but there are other works that explore the same question. I believe
Yeah.
one of them is a Japanese animation which is called Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, Ghost in the Shell.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about the
Mm.
same thing. What is the soul inside of you? Right.
Right.
What is consciousness? What makes it unique? How did it emerge? Yeah. Questions like that. So yeah, that's my inspiration for
Okay. Okay, cool.
starting this project. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And the way that you mentioned the way that you made this project is just by using Claude Code.
Yes.
So can you can you is it possible that you sort of divulge a little bit about like what's the prompt that you gave Claude Code, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to make a what? What did you
Well,
tell Claude Code?
yeah, actually, I spent maybe the first 1 or 2 days just doing purely philosophizing with Claude Code, right?
Okay.
So we were talking about the like the essence of consciousness, and I talked talked to it about how I think there might be one like collective consciousness, which is like it's like electromagnetic field, basically.
Mm,
And individual mind doesn't generate these signals; they just pick them up, like a radio picking up, electric magnetic waves, right?
okay.
So yeah, so that was like in the first few days, but gradually I came to this idea of making something like anamnesis, which is the project we're talking about. And then like I just make some decisions as we go. So if a cloud already make like the platform, then it will ask me how would you like the signals to be extracted, and
Mm,
I tell it exactly how I want it to be extracted after the session.
okay.
And yeah, and then what prompts do we inject back into the AI? But
So you're having a more of a conversation than just one single prompt. Am I right?
well, you cannot do this with one single
Okay.
prompt. You have to
Mm,
keep, having this back and forth with the AI,
mm,
to achieve
mm,
that, right?
mm,
So yeah, one prompt maybe you can generate a picture, maybe a video, right? But
mm.
well, it's a conversation. It yeah took me 3 weeks. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay,
But
cool. But 3 weeks is actually a very short time in comparison to if humans are able to do this the same amount of work 3 years ago, right? So without
well,
Claude Code, this will take probably months for even a experienced programmer.
yeah, it's unthinkable. I mean, the efficiency has increased so much. It's unbelievable. Yeah. So we are living in a time where drastic changes are happening, and
Right.
yeah, now people can do much more in a limited period of time with AI.
And just for our audience, you told me before that you had absolutely no technical background, right? No
No, not at
technical
all.
training, none of the sort.
Yeah, till now
Okay.
I still cannot write a proper line of code, to be honest. But
Right.
somehow I managed to build this with the help of AI.
So you are the demonstration that anyone right now, as long as you know English,
Yes.
well,
Well, you
not
don't
even
have to know
English, you can,
English, actually. Yeah, you don't have to
right.
know
So there are,
English.
as long as
Yeah.
you know any language that's supported by Claude Code,
Yes,
you are able to create some sort of software product, right?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool. And okay, so the next question I prepared for you is about this thing called hallucination. All right, so hallucination is when an AI makes a mistake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so in your experience when developing this product, have you ever seen a case where Claude Code hallucinate?
I think there were actually a lot of times the AI gradually drift away from our route, right? Our
Hmm.
plan, and it went on to think for itself. But at this time, you need to stop it, and then you need to tell it to stick to the plan or do something like that. Because I think hallucination is a very common technical difficulty we encountered every day when we use AI, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
But I think it can, I think the problem can be solved as we have more powerful and more accurate reasoning or inferring AI, right?
Hmm.
So I think it could be solved. But for now, we do see a lot of hallucinations when we use AI. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And actually 1 year ago at this during the summer, I tried to create my own app. And what I didn't use Claude Code, I used some other tool. And when I used that product to create a software, it was able to do it. But then whenever I try to change something, it will change the entire UI design for me. So that
Mhm.
was really annoying for me. And does I know that as people probably know, AI evolves really, really fast. So have you ever seen that kind of weird behavior happening?
I think this problem can be solved with two approaches. The first one is the development of AI, right? So the companies OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, even Elon Musk's Grok, right? They are constantly improving their AI, the power of it, the reasoning power of it, the computing power of it, the context window of it. Most of them can reach 1 million context window, which is amazing, right?
Like
Um,
context window, what do you mean by that?
So it's like the memory for LLMs. Yeah, we
Okay.
call it
So
context.
if I'm having a conversation with you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm a human brain. I have a human
Mm-hmm.
brain.
Mm-hmm.
I remember all the things that we talked about. That's
Exactly.
why I don't ask you, who are you the second time,
Exactly.
right?
And yeah, and
So
then you
in
get to know
terms
the
of
context. Yeah.
so context window just means the memory, the things that the LLM remembers about the conversation it had with the user. Am I right?
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So
Continue.
yes. Yeah. So context window is I think it's a major indicator how good this AI is, because the stronger you are, the more powerful you are, you remember more things, right? So
Mhm.
you are fit for more challenging tasks, right? So yeah, most of them have reached 1 million context window, which is a good thing. So you like you mentioned one year ago, maybe most of them are just maybe 10K, 20K, I don't know,
Okay.
right? But they are really, really improving fast. Yeah.
So on a scale of 5 to 10
On a
per
scale,
year,
well,
something like that?
yeah, maybe, probably.
Yeah.
So I think another approach to solve the problem you just mentioned is to give it a clearer instruction,
Clear
right?
instruction. Right.
Yeah.
I
So you,
remember having to tell the LLM, do not change anything else. I had to
all right.
scream. I had to all caps, do not change anything else. Keep the
Oh,
UI as is.
okay, okay. So if you
That
said
was really
that, I
funny.
think, yeah, that was because the AI was not well developed
Yeah,
back
I when I
back
tried
then,
it
right?
again, now it's improved. Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah,
definitely
yeah.
better. Yeah, it's definitely better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's much better now. Yeah, so if you just try to give it as clear an instruction as you can, and also with the development of it, I think this problem can be solved. So for now, if I want to change something, it's mostly surgical. The AI won't turn everything upside down. They won't do that, and they just do the surgical change, and then that's it. Yeah, problem fixed.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Great. Great. Okay. So we talked about the development. We talked about the ideation of your product. We
Hmm.
also talked about your process of making the product.
Yeah.
Now, I think our audience are interested in knowing about the business side. Obviously, we all like money, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I heard that to get your idea into a real business, you went to all these AI meetings in the Silicon Valley.
Yes, I
So
did.
can you tell us about your adventures there?
Silicon Valley is an interesting place because there are so many smart people out there working on all kinds of problems. Some of them I've never heard, right? Before I went in there. So I guess I have learned a lot going to those meetups. However, I also got to see how difficult it is for independent developer to get recognition or get investors' attention there, right? Because there are too many people doing similar things, and I think it's almost like a bubble because everybody knows it's a new thing. It's where the opportunities are. So a lot of people are doing the same thing. So there's a lot of noise. I mean, not literal noise, but
Okay.
metaphorically, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in the AI scene right now, but mostly, I think investors will look at two things. First is your background. Do you have a technical background, or do you
Mm.
have business background? Do you have
Mm.
some sort of other professional domains, right?
Okay.
This is thing one. And also your whole team, right? Do you have a technical co-founder who is in charge of such and such? So this is one thing they'll look at. And another thing is the traction of of your product, right? So if you have no users or very few users, your friends just testing out for you, they will think your product still has no traction at all,
Okay.
right? But if
Mm.
you can somehow manage to get maybe 100 users, 500 users, or even 1,000 daily active users, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they will consider this to be a more valuable project
Okay.
to invest in. Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned these investors, right?
Mhm.
So when you go to the meeting,
Mhm.
do you do a presentation to the investors and everything about your product and they look at who you are, they look at how interesting your idea is? Can you give everybody a walkthrough of one of these meetings?
All right.
And
So
how do you find these meetings?
all right. So I use this app called Luma, and you can download it in
Like
App Store.
Duma, how do you spell it?
Luma. Yeah. So it's an app. You can download it
Oh,
on your phone.
Luma. Luma.
Luma. Yes,
Okay.
Luma. And people will just publish events there, so you can register. And yeah, so that's how I found these meetups. And I didn't really get the chance to do a demo or do a presentation or anything like that. But I think there are places you can do that because there are also demo days, demo nights where you can showcase your product maybe for 5 minutes, maybe for 3 minutes.
Mm.
Yeah, so they have places like that, but I've never been to one of them. So the ones I went to was basically they are trying to promote their own platform or their AI, and
Okay.
they invite a lot of professionals to give a speech talking about the status quo of AI.
Hmm.
And yeah, so I got to listen to them, and I did learn a lot from them. But more importantly, after the speech, you can also just talk to anybody in the room, right? So
Hmm.
it's a great place for networking. So
Yeah.
I got to meet a lot of people, developers, founders, investors, all kinds of people yeah in the scene,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, talking to different people, you can really pick up different signals about how the market is or what other people are doing. You get more informed. I think it's always good experience for me
Yeah.
because I either learn something new or I meet somebody new, right?
Right.
So yeah, it
Right.
was
And you never know who's gonna give you a really good idea.
exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah. So
Right.
good ideas comes from good conversation. So you go in there and you talk to people who understand this industry, right? And
Hmm.
then it's guaranteed to be a good interaction, right? So you
Yeah.
can maybe you can have some great ideas coming out of these conversations, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
truly agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to go to these meetings in Silicon Valley, but I was the part of the venture capitalist side. I listened to people giving presentation about their project.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Yeah, you can see that not all the teams are, as you said, there was a lot of noise, right? There's a
Mhm.
lot of people that are not, doesn't seem like they're prepared because we do have limited funding and we have to pick out the ones
The
that have
best
the most
ones.
potential. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay. So have you turned your idea into a business yet? You have the product deployed, right?
Yep.
So if I go to the App Store now, I can download it. Am I right?
It's a web app, so it's not in the app store yet.
Oh, okay.
So you can just go to the website and you can try it out
Okay.
right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
So it's a
Yeah.
website.
hmm Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a
And
web app, and so I really thought about this, but I think as for my project, this project, I think it's not so scalable, which means it's really hard to turn it into a profitable business,
mhm,
right? But it is an interesting and I think important tool for people who really need it, right? So I
mhm,
want to make this kind of a community thing. Maybe I'll open source it later.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just want to people to try it out. And also today I did something, yeah, I'm really kind of proud of, right? So what I did was I uploaded a book by Carl Jung. It's his auto autobiography, right? So
Mhm.
it's like the biography he wrote himself. It's called Memories, Dreams, and Reflections. So
Okay.
Carl Jung is like the original psychoanalysis, right? And
Mhm.
his ideas and his theories affects how we look at human consciousness and subconscious today, right? So concepts like archetypes and shadow all comes from his theory, right? So what I did was I uploaded this book
Mhm.
to my system, and then I created a digital twin of Carl Jung.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah. So people who's interested can talk with basically something like Young, right? Yeah,
Right.
that would be
I
cool,
think
right?
that's an interesting thing now because this seems like we're getting into the territory that you're uploading someone's consciousness to a computer system like
Exactly.
without their permission.
Yeah. So it's only limited to historical deceased personalities, right? If they're still living, basically, I think you cannot do that. I
Right.
mean,
I mean,
it's
I think
morally
this is an
wrong.
interesting topic to talk about in
Yeah.
another day. We
Yeah.
are kind of short on time. We have only a couple of minutes left. With the last bit of time, can you tell me how to get to your app? What
Yeah.
is the link?
So it's anamnesis.cc. Anamnesis is a Greek word. It means the recollection of what's already there.
Wait,
So it's anamnesis.cc.
okay.
Nesis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll send me that later and I'll post it on the video later.
Of course. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
I guess that's it for today's discussion.
Yeah. Of course.
And we will talk again next week, I guess.
Of course. Yeah. We can do
Okay.
that.
All
All
right.
right. Yeah.
Cool.
Nice talking to you.
Nice talking
All
to you
right.
too.